Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. As promised, it is Tuesday, June 15th. My dad came over and we got every single little window in. Now, I did not get these on film in the basement and this first one that we set here in the master closet. No big deal, just kind of the same as the other ones. What's funny though is, as you're gonna see in the thumbnail, definitely OSHA approved, using a tractor that's turned off, holding me up with the bucket and the hydraulics don't fail. And of course my OSHA approved sandals. But we at least officially 100% got all of the front windows done and taped. We got the two basement windows done. They're all done and taped, but we did run out of tape in the back, and I think we only did like 90% taping of the office window. I did not have enough tape to tape down the flashing that comes with the windows. There's a little trim piece that goes up there. I kind of tape that after I tape basically up, over, and down, and then I tape the flashing on for the top of that window. And then because it makes two layers of tape, which this is the flashing that I'm talking about right here, this little trim piece. So because it makes two layers of tape with that flashing, I put a third one on, so that way it's not such a big bubble there and it's a little bit more sealed. So basically I need two more pieces on the office, and then I need to do all of the master bedroom windows and the two in the dining room. But at least they're in, they're done. We just need to figure out when we're going to get a telehandler, because we're going to need that thing just for the sheer weight of me and another guy probably, plus that back door, plus each one of those windows. It's going to be, I think those windows are at least 300 pounds. So I definitely don't feel comfortable on my bucket standing there. Not to mention it can't get that high really anyway, and one guy to be able to lift that back up and set it on the ledge, because even these were a huge pain in the butt for how heavy they are, and you can just see how small they are compared to the large window that's going into that hole. And then before my dad headed out, we went ahead and got the wall straightened up on the inside, where we've got that end truss meeting the scissor truss on the inside. So that is now straight as an arrow. The only thing as an issue that hopefully he won't be able to tell is, just like the other wall that we had to straighten up, when we straightened the bottom up so that where it's bolted to the top plate there, when you are adjusting the bottom to get it straight, you're making the top go up, kind of go like this. So this wall over here was a huge pain in the butt trying to get that completely straight, since you're going to be looking down this area right here when you go downstairs. You obviously want to see a straight wall that we built, and then the straight end truss there. This truss doesn't really need to be that straight because there's no wall continuing all the way down. So if that gable up there is just ever so slightly, or end truss, if it's ever so slightly, I think it's pushed out. So it's like the top needs to come too, but there's nothing we can really do about it. Hopefully once the drywall's up there, just on that spot, you're not gonna see it. And I mean, it looks straight unless you're literally standing right here under it and you're really just trying to eyeball, and actually the truss goes in like this. So it's got a little bit of a down taper. But if I kick it out even more, then there's gonna basically be a bow in that truss going this way, because obviously we can't move the back and we can't move the front, or vice versa. We can't move them, so there's nothing that we can really do. So hopefully, like I said, it looks okay. And now I can go ahead and purchase about 20 some more 2x4s and finish off the fireplace. I got to finish building that chase. We'll finish off the half bath. And then once the garage doors get installed here soon and we stop using this as an entrance here, we'll go ahead and build this wall out, because I think our front door is very close since it's all the same color. We just need to now wait on, is the bottom gonna get trimmed out and look a little bit better from the people that we're buying from when we have it custom modified. And then hopefully that front door will be here real soon, and then we can start using that guy and the front stairs instead of having to constantly truck mud through the garage and stuff. So I'm gonna head in for the night. I am tired using the ladder, and my dad was exhausted. His feet were killing him also. So we're gonna eat some dinner. I gotta work tomorrow night, and then I think for the rest of the week, he may come back out and help me finish with the fireplace, since it's a little bit easier with 2 people. And if he doesn't come out here during this week, then I will go ahead and throw on the Genstone on the side of the garage here and on the back. And once that is all on, we can go ahead and keep trucking down this way until we run out of those 4x8 sheets. Because those 4x8 sheets, I can't remember if I said it, those are only obviously 8 foot tall. And when we transition over to the house, I either need to buy those panels in like 9 foot or 10 footers, which they do come, or we're gonna have to transition and go down to the 16-inch wide pieces that come 16 foot long. And we'll have to go from the bottom of the Genstone up to wherever the trusses or the soffits go in back into the house. And we may unfortunately be having to waste a lot of that, since again, you're cutting down a 16 footer, and I don't know, let's say we only need like 10'5" there. That's going to be a lot of waste. But once we get out past that bracket and where the porch ends, not a big deal, because as we start tapering up and going up that triangle with the scissor trusses, we're pretty much going to need those 16 footers to go from the base all the way up to the peak, minus wherever the Genstone kicks over, because I'd like to do Genstone all the way up. That way, if we didn't do stone and we just put the 16-inch LP smart side from the bottom of that door all the way up to the peak of the roof, I guarantee that's going to be over 16 foot, and then you're going to have a transition line where the LP doesn't make it. So if you continue all of that in stone and you just come out here to the side of the door on each side, and hopefully a 16 footer goes all the way up to where it can cut back with the pitch of the roof or the scissor trusses, then I think that'll look perfect, and there'll be no transition lines. And then the only ones that we have to worry about is if we are doing LP all the way up to the gable ends on this side and the gable ends on the other side. And I did not buy enough material to do that gable up there. I only bought the 8 footers that are going to match the 8 footers right there going up and down right now. So those 8 footers are going to stop with the material that I have. So I'm waiting on a sample of what looks like kind of like a cedar shake. It's actually in vinyl, but I ordered it in black to see how that's going to match. But if that doesn't look right on that gable end, and I don't think there's a lot of black vinyl cedar shingles looking out there, then we'll just say screw it, and we'll go ahead, make a transition line, take the LP all the way up to the peaks on each side, and then hopefully you'll only have a transition 1 time on this side and maybe 2 times on the other side, since that obviously doesn't have a garage door, and that's a much bigger wall to be going from wherever we're going to transition from stone and then go all the way up. So we'll see what happens. But till then, I will see you guys back later in this week, so hold on. Hey everybody, welcome back. Happy Father's Day. It is Sunday, June, whatever it is. It's been raining pretty much every single day and every single night for the last week. It only rains for a little bit here and there, but it's enough to create horrible mud everywhere. So getting back in the back is gonna be a huge pain in the butt. But yesterday, I didn't get it on film because it's too fast for the time lapse, and then it takes too long just for the regular video speed, like as you're seeing now. But went ahead and knocked out the center column with the Genstone, and went ahead and just knocked out this side over here. So pretty much, unless we want to get real muddy today, we can pretty much start walking our way down there and getting started on those 5 panels going that way, which looks to be pretty easy, should go pretty well, especially since we're going the correct way. You're always supposed to start from the left, since you've got your kind of tongue, I guess you could say, on this side, and then you just set your groove in there and go down. Before, when I was working from the other side, I had to like slip the panel in from the opposite way, but it doesn't really matter. It was super easy to do it from either side, but that is the correct way, again, that you can go from, you know, left to right instead of right to left as I did before. But is what it is, got it done, and we're good to go there. But to start off today, there's just 3 more panels that I want to get done on this side on the garage. So 3 full panels of the 4x8s. So 1, 2, 3, and then obviously, as you can see, we're gonna stop a foot or so short, but that is intended because we're gonna have to transition over to those 16-inch wide, 16-foot long panels so that we can go from the Genstone up to where the eaves are gonna be, and then wherever the deck is to where up the eaves are gonna be, and then beyond there. So we only need to go 7 down this way and 7 down the back side, and then again we'll transition over to the 16-footers. And then as for these overhangs, our 16-inch, or no, I bought 12-inch pieces here. Our 12-inch pieces are in, so we can put those up here and up there, but I will have to wait till tomorrow to go get those. I just didn't go pick them up last week because I had other stuff that I could be doing and working. So we'll go ahead and hopefully tomorrow get this at least finished out, get all the trim finished out, and then I think we're coming up on this week. I think we had it scheduled for the 22nd maybe. I have to look back and see when the garage doors are gonna come, or when they're gonna come install it. I thought they said the 22nd, but I could be wrong. That doesn't seem long enough. I thought it was 3 weeks out. But if it is the 22nd, then tomorrow we need to get all this buttoned up, so that way when they come over, they can just throw their trim piece up right here, up and over and down, and then this garage will basically be completely sealed. All right, so 3 more panels to do on this side. 2 need cut, 1's a full sheet, so let's get cracking at it, and we'll be done. All right, everybody, another day coming to a close. Fortunately, I lost a good hour or so. I ran out of the caulking, and before I could really move on, I like to get everything caulked up and done. But as you can see, this side of the garage is now completely done, except for underneath of the soffits, which I'm probably going to spray with the sprayer. After we get those lights out of there, tape up the windows, and then we'll have to buy some of those plastic bags or that plastic roll to kind of protect this Genstone, so that way I can give the second layer of spray all on the actual board and batten, get up into those cracks where the soffit vents are. That's going to be a little bit easier, and then we can call this side done, at least with painting, and then we'll get the drip edge on and finish out that corner over there with everything, and the trim that goes up again on the house there. We still got to get all that done. As the shingles are here, I bought them. They didn't have to be trucked in or anything, but they just need me to go pick them up at the store because they had them in stock. So we've got to go pick up all those, and then we can finally get started on the garage roof at some time. But yeah, there's just a lot more to do and so little time, it seems like. Again, especially when you have to go make runs and buy more stuff. But we'll get there. At least this side is kind of pretty much weatherproofed. All the caulking is in there and 1 layer of paint. And tomorrow we'll probably pick up the shingles, and we'll probably pick up the 16-foot long 12-inch pieces, which, by the way, I did use a piece of scrap over here, which allowed me to not waste all of that material, and I've got a few more here on top there and one back there that I'll probably go ahead and put on this one here, this side and the other side. That way I'm not really burning up those 16 footers. Although the only thing that sucks though is they are only 12 inches, so crap, they probably are going to go to waste because I can't put them up here as board and batten because they're only 12 inches wide, and that's not going to fall on line with board and batten. So maybe they'll let me return, like basically not let me pick up like 2 of them or something. I really only need, this door's 18 foot here, so I really only need 2 basically. Take the 9 foot over there going this way, and then the piece that's gonna go here for the other 2 feet, I'll cut off of there, and that way I only scrap 1 piece because I ended up buying 6 of those. So yeah, we don't need all that. So maybe I can return them and buy, I'm gonna need probably 100 of the 16-inch wides instead of the 12-inch wides. And then we'll cut just a little piece here to put down on top of here. And then that way their trim for the garage doors will be all 1 piece, and we'll caulk that seam though. You'll never see it or really know that it's there. So that's why I didn't make that all 1 piece in there. It's looking good. It's coming along. We're getting closer and closer. Like I said before, I really want to finish the garage up 100%. That's kind of the ideal goal on the outside here. So once we get a lift, we'll probably go ahead and then spray the underside and finish out this side. We need a lift obviously for all of the panels up in here, but once I get the lift, I'll have to finish this Genstone out over here and finish what I just did on the front to the back. And once that's done, then we can go ahead and get the lift. That way we can spray and do the roof and do everything at once, like all within 1 week. But it's got to be a good week here because I just keep seeing rain in the forecast for days on end, and it's just not going to work putting on a roof or dealing with the mud and everything that's going to come back in here. So yeah, that's probably the goal. We'll probably pick up those panels tomorrow, finish out the garages. We'll put on the Genstone back here tomorrow, start working on the board and batten back in here. And then we'll just wait for a good day, get a lift, and put the roof on and put the panels up over here. And we'll just, like I said, 1 step closer to finishing out the garage. So stay tuned. We'll be back at it, and wish me luck because we need it with the weather that we're seeing. Good morning, everybody. So to start off today, a little bit change of plans. We emailed the door company, the garage door company, and they actually are coming tomorrow. So it's about 2 weeks or so from when they said they were originally going to put them in. So not 3 weeks, but we need to get this finished and ready for them. So what we need to do is we need to at least get this wall painted over here. So I don't know if we need to paint the entire wall, but we at least have to paint where the tracks are going to go. So for example, you got this side over here, and then of course on each side there. So we gotta get this wall prepped up and painted, and I don't know if you guys can see my hand or not, but I know Fred did a heck of a job cleaning up, but guys, this is insane. I can't imagine trying to paint a wall with so much drywall dust on it. And the other night I did try to clean up this wall. It just takes so much time trying to sweep it up, and that even does it. You actually have to get like a washcloth and a bucket of water and actually wipe the wall down. Is that what all of you guys do? Is that how you get drywall dust off of everything? It just seems to stick to everything like static, and I can't imagine starting to have to paint and having that stuck on there, and that to me just seems like a huge issue. So I don't know. Like I said, hopefully we get it done today. I'm gonna go pick up my lumber right now to go ahead and put the upper pieces on here, so that way they're ready for tomorrow, so they can actually put their trim on and I don't have to do it at a later date. We'll get the insides of the wall painting, and then hopefully bright and early tomorrow around 8 a.m. they show up and we get our doors installed. All right, so back from the lumber yard, went ahead and got the panels up. Again, I only got 12 inches, so you can see on the outer edge here, we've got about a half of an inch that's not covered. So because of that, what we're gonna have to do is, I was only gonna use the 1x4 trim, like right here and right here to build out a corner. But what I'm gonna have to do is take this trim here and also put it up there going across all the way up and down. So that way it hides that little half-inch gap there. And then what we'll do is when we put the trim on the top going over top of the door. That's gonna be a much bigger piece, a 1x6 inch that I've got sitting over here. They're gonna go all the way across. So what I'm gonna do with this piece here is when I put it on and the 4x8 sheets on there, I'm gonna have them go about a 1/2 inch low. So basically it makes a drip edge there. So same thing basically I've done with the outside fascia board. So again, to cover that outside edge there, we'll hang the 4x8 sheet and that 1x6 about a 1/2 inch low. That 1x4 will go up in there and we'll cover that joint and we'll seal it so it's completely hidden. And then up around in here on the inside, they have their trim with that little rubber flap on it. So before we get started painting, I went ahead and caulked all the LP on this side and all the way down to the ground. So we can go ahead and now paint. I probably will paint this black. I don't have to because that trim piece is going on there, but at least it'll kind of waterproof and seal this a little bit so anything that gets behind their trim piece is sealed. So go ahead and paint that up. Wait for the caulking there to harden and we'll paint this. Then we'll go ahead and pick our colors that we're gonna paint probably right about here. We're gonna do the laser probably about that high, which you can see, casting a line almost where the transition is from these two panels. So I think the laser line is casting like right about here. We went ahead and picked, again, 2 different colors. So this will go from here down. So we have to paint basically from here down and we'll paint all this out. So this is all one color and we cover up that black. Then we'll go ahead and paint just this for today, where the tracking is gonna go and up around in there. And we went with, actually I'll tell you, we went with a Euro gray. I'll bust that out later and show you what it looks like. But Euro gray is gonna go on the bottom like 1/3. And then for the top, we picked swirling water, and apparently it's just a white color. So basically, kind of a darker gray on the bottom, a brighter white up top, and we'll do a transition line. But we really only have to do, again, that front door where the tracks are gonna go and where the motors are gonna go. So just waiting on all the caulking to dry. And we're one step closer to getting the doors in, and then hopefully we should be ready by tomorrow. All right, everybody, so that's basically what it's gonna look like. I was getting scared. I thought that paint, it could have just been like super white or something as it was going on. I could have just bought any white paint, but when it dries, it's more of like a gray hue, almost what I would consider like an ice. So there is a difference, you know, that actually looked better when it was wet because it was a very light gray. That probably would have looked better against the white. But as that dries out, that got very, very dark. And then that was super white, but then it turns to like a gray hue. So it'll look better once it's done. But That tape sucks. You can see there's definitely some holes or spots where I'm gonna have to hit with the brush where that tape leaked through. And then that guy there was not dry enough because it pulled off some chunks. So we'll hit that up with some gray. But that's really all I need to do tonight. I'm gonna do one more white throughout all of this, everything that they're going to touch. And then we still got to get all of the dust again off the walls and all the dust down here from the drywall before I can paint anything else. But this wall, or I don't even know if you want to call it a wall, but this where the garage doors are going, that at least was done with a wet rag and a bucket of water. And I got all of the dust off. And then we have to do that shelf up there and basically clean all this. But this should at least be good to go now for the garage door installers. And again, they're gonna mess it up and scratch it and everything. I know they will, but we'll go ahead and just bring the paintbrush out and clean that up. But that should be a heck of a lot easier than having to remove their tracks or paint around their tracks and then paint on top of the tracks, which will look like crap. But yeah, that'll look a lot better. And let me know if you guys think I should leave it like this. Usually on garages, they usually don't have a solid paint line like that. Usually they put like a strip of something. So maybe if we can get like a strip of the AMG like blue or something. So it'd be like that dark gray, then a blue strip, and then the white going around. But the only thing is you guys know how often I get rid of cars. Then we're stuck with a blue line here, and then we don't have anything. You know, if I get a new car, that'll be a different color. It won't really match. But I'm gonna let that dry, do one more coat, and then we'll see you guys bright and early in the morning when the garage door people show up. Hey everybody, so it is Tuesday, end of day actually for the door installers. I'm not gonna show you the outside, I'll show you the inside. But today took a heck of a lot longer than it was supposed to. In fact, as they were just pulling away, they were like, oh, that's a light day if I put in 2 doors and 2 motors. And today we only got barely 1 little door in. Obviously there's a difference that we went with the high lift kind of system. So they're mounted way higher than normal. Nothing is basically mounted to the header up there, which I thought the motors and everything were gonna get mounted to. But again, because everything is so tall, I had to go all the way to Home Depot. I had to get new 2x8s so we could bolt everything together. The studs weren't exactly like 100% like near where they needed to be mounted to. So for example, this one over here, I went ahead and made like a kind of intermediate bracket there that connects that one to that one, because that one is bolted really far that way on where a stud fell. So we had to, basically there's a lot of room on 7.5 inches that's unsupported. So I bought some T-brackets and put that middle bracket in there and bolted it all together. And then these outside ones, again, those are also double plated. So those are 3 inches thick. And yeah, wasn't expecting that. So what I think I'm gonna have to do up there painting wise, I think lumber will bleed through most times. So we're gonna have to get a paint that I used on the shed's shingles, because those are real cedar shingles. You got to put a paint on that stops the bleed through and then put your paint on. And especially because that's going to be a white, we definitely need to make sure that we're not constantly bleeding through sap and stuff on those. So hopefully they paint well. I'm not going to drywall them or anything. I'm just going to probably caulk where the bolts are over top of the head, and then we'll seal it with paint and stuff like that, and the pre-paint, if you will. Again, not going to show you what the outside looks like, but we've got really big windows in here, double insulated tamper glass. Tomorrow should go a lot faster to just hang those other 2 tracks and then start setting the panels in. And then we need to just figure out the final steps on where the door actually comes up to, because we can probably cut these back a little bit, so they're not like coming in so far. But they're 12'7" in the air. That should be more than enough to not hit a car lift or anything. So they're definitely tall enough that I'm not gonna bump my head or anything like that. And then everything in the system that I got for the motors that are gonna get bolted up there too, unfortunately. They're not gonna get mounted to the header. Everything is wireless, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna install the keypads on the outside there, but they are wireless. And the ones that are going over there to get mounted by the door, those are wireless too. So we don't have to run any wires really, except for the eyes, the safety eyes that are on the bottom. So we do have to run some real small thin gauge wire there, but shouldn't be a problem. But I don't know if you guys have ever seen garage doors, but usually garage door springs are maybe like that big around. So I don't know, maybe 3 inches max. And they're not that big. They're, you know, maybe only 3 foot wide or so, and that's enough to take up a door. But I guess these dual glass panels, each one of these are crazy heavy. And even the main doors over here, or the big door with the glass panels in there, they both said that is the heaviest door. And it's only one section. It's not all the panels. It's only the panel with the glass. They're like, that is easily the heaviest thing that I have ever picked up for a garage door. They guess somewhere around like 250 pounds. So a standard spring for a garage door, 3 inches or so. Look at the size of these things. They're like 6-7 inches in diameter. And I'm assuming there's going to be 2 on the big door and then 1 on the single door. That thing is insane. If that thing breaks, which I know garage door springs do break, and then people can't get their doors up, and someone has to come out and install a new one and like re-tension it down. When that thing, if ever breaks and that tension lets go, that is going to be like a bomb going off, because that is no joke. Those things are stupid big. So just gonna cut this here. Again, I'll show you the outside tomorrow. You guys gotta wait. When we put in the, again, we do have grills. You probably have already seen them now, so I can't stop it there. We do have some grills that are getting installed in there. So that glass isn't just a big, massive square that you're gonna see. But I'll show you guys that tomorrow. And then we'll have to do some touch-up spots that I can already see where they got into. And then we'll reveal tomorrow. So until then, stay tuned, and fingers crossed we get it all done then. Well, day 2 is now closed on the garage doors, and they still did not finish. I am going to show you guys what it looks like, but it looks like they still have a little bit more to do on the big door. I did see them get all the brackets in. The springs are hung. They still need to put on the eyes, the safety eyes, hook it up to the garage door opener, which, as you can see on this side, there is one garage door opener up there already. That thing is tiny. So that massive spring is basically taking all of the weight of the door, and then that just little itty bitty tiny motor, I guess, is what actually does everything. So good thing about these motors, everything, again, I think I said this yesterday, everything is wireless. So the keypad up there will just have a battery that will communicate with it. The keypads, we didn't buy them, I guess, but they said they would throw them in for free because this is such a big job. And just to let you guys know, these are $9,000 doors. So just under like 9,000. It was like 8,900 and like 31 and some change. So they were going to throw in the openers, the keypads that can get bolted to the outside for free. The only thing that sucks is they only come in white, tan, almond, and like something else. They don't come in a black. So you'll just be seeing like a keypad sitting right here that we'll either have to paint with a brush or maybe even my sprayer to get it to match this color, or we just don't install them at all, which is not really a big deal because these are wireless also. So we can control them from my cell phone. They have an app that actually will control these. So that's a cool thing. And then the last feature with these garage door openers, they have a bolt-on electric and manual device that will sit right here. So I guess when you pull the string, or if we leave and we don't want anyone coming into the garage for safety, you can manually pull over a mechanism with a huge, large bolt that will go through the shaft here. And then once the wheel hits it, it can't come up. So obviously if the motor's engaged, you can't really pick the door up anyway. But if you leave long term, you can pull the motors and kill them. So you don't have to get up there and unplug the electricity. You can just pull the motor, which will kill it so it can't do anything. But then you can manually slide the bolts over, and then you can't pick up the doors. So that would be one safety feature, I guess. But without further ado, I guess I'll show them to you now. Although I did finish up one thing over here. While they were working today, we did go ahead and finish up the entire back of the house with the Genstone. So now we can go ahead and put on our board and batten, and then this side of the garage will be done once we get it painted. So we're that much closer. Now, as for the look here, guys, on the outside, there's one thing that you're probably going to notice. They did not put the trim on yet for the outside with that rubber flap. I don't know where that sample is, but you guys have seen it before. It's what I measured that little brown piece in. That's what's going to get bolted up into the sides going up and around. And that weather flap supposed to keep everything out. So they do need cleaned, so don't... if you see like white spots and stuff, they still need wiped down. But so that's what we got.
That's what we got.
What do you say?
I think my dad will like it, and that's what's important.
Why?
I don't know. I just always wonder when we do stuff to the house, is my dad gonna like it?
So the look, I don't even know what you'd call it. I guess kind of cottagey. I'm assuming if this door was a standard height, that middle panel would be gone where it doesn't have that X in there. And I know the black, I don't know how well this is showing up on camera right now, but the two bottom panels have that X in there. And then up there we've got black grills, so kind of matching the windows. Technically, there could be less grills in there that would more or less match the windows. But at least with the bottom X, especially on the lower, probably 2/3, that matches the shed back there. So we've got the same kind of X going on. So relatively matches. But
Cottagey is not the look I was going for, so I hope that's not the only thing that people can see.
I don't know, what else would you call it? Stable?
No, it's just supposed to be like rustic, just in general. Just...
I guess.
not cottagey. Don't say that.
So I can't remember who the doors are. I think they're Co-Play, Co-something maybe. Colby?
Coldplay?
I don't know. They're one of them. But so in this design of a look, unfortunately, the only bad thing about them is the max R value is only like 13.4. So they do have garage doors up to like 18 or 19. But I guess because of the style we got, they are not as insulated as they could be. But they are double pane safety glass, so they are insulated. So that's going to keep our heat in, so that helps. I guess it does look kind of weird though, that those inserts there for the grills, I just popped those in from the outside. The only thing I don't like about that is they're definitely going to get stuff stuck in behind the grill. Like if a leaf gets blown in, it'll get stuck in between the glass and the grill. I wish they would have put them either on the inside or if they would have put them in between the panes. Not exactly sure why, but for the house at least, all of our windows, those grills are actually on the inside. So that's easier to clean and you're not going to get stuff up into them. But I don't know, they look kind of weird that from like the back side, you can see that the grills are made of plastic and molded on that. So it definitely would have looked better if it was a molded piece of front and back and just put inside there. But I guess that's just more probably labor for them to be building it that way. But I don't know. Like I said, it's a very heavy, 300 some pounds probably for the top piece, and then for this, and this, that's probably a good 400-pound door. The what?
The headers, I thought it would look sloppier, but they did a good job of it.
Well, I'm the one that did that.
Okay, well, somebody did a good job on all of it.
I'm surprised they only put that one piece of wood up there only on 2 studs. I thought they were going to stretch it across like 3 or 4 studs, because I went and bought those are 2x10s and those are 2x8s. I bought the 2x10s 8 foot long because I figured they were going to go more studs than that, but they said it would hold the spring. And there's, I think he said 6-inch lag bolts, so there's 6-inch lag bolts going through the first piece against the drywall, through the drywall, and then going into that 2x8 stud going this way. So, and then there's another piece on top of that where they've got 6 more, but they obviously don't have to be as long. But I don't know. It makes the garage look smaller.
Makes the garage look done.
Kinda, once I get the paint. There's definitely some mess ups. There's The only thing now that I'm regretting about painting first, where they scratched the paint, that's the paint's like real thick. So when you go to repaint that, which my mess up over here, remember that I pulled the tape off? So if you can see right there where I repainted it, because the paint got ripped off, you can now see exactly where I overpainted, because that paint's not as thick as this. So you can't really just keep painting just that spot to double it up. But I don't know how else to fix it. But there's gonna be some drywall spots too. They missed some holes on this side that they're gonna have to be touched up with some drywall, and then I'll sand it down, and then I'll have to repaint those again. But either way, it doesn't really matter. I gotta paint everything anyway, so. But there you guys go. They'll be back tomorrow. They'll finish out the outside weather stripping. Because like I said, you can see totally into everything, and obviously bugs and everything can get in between here. Not to mention you can see the white of the door and a little bit of my paint.
It's a huge gap up there.
That weather stripping will go in there. It's not done. Relax.
I know.
There's a huge gap at the bottom too. It's not even touching the concrete down there. That this door isn't set. The little door is set. The Genie garage door is on. They just left it pulled up because one little mistake that wasn't really a mistake, I just didn't think about it. The door is hitting the lights. So one unfortunate thing that you will be seeing there is when the garage is all the way up and open, they're gonna stop it like an inch short from hitting the light. But what that forces to happen is you're gonna see about, there was about 2 inches or so where the garage door was not past the header up there. Now, is that really a problem? No, it's a 9-foot door. I'm not going to be driving anything in here, even a lifted truck that's, 8'10", where it's going to hit the garage door. So totally not worried about that. But it's better to just stop the door short and leave an inch or 2 out here than me having to get back up there and re-drill through the metal ceiling and move the light, 2 inches that way. It's just not worth it. So, but there you guys go. There is our $9,000 insulated garage doors. They'll be done tomorrow, so you'll see the operation and everything in a later video. I was hoping to get it done today, but that video is not going to be out for a while. Aaron and I have got some things to do for the weekend. So stay tuned, comment, let me know what you guys think. Please like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't done already, and you can hit us up at NeckofTheWoods 2020 on Instagram if you need to personal message us. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Again, hope you enjoyed, and take care.